Kiuic to me is a new perspective. People come here from different parts of the world and they're presented with something entirely new that they've never seen before. A biocultural reserve where we preserve the environment and we preserve the remains of a culture long past.
The reserve itself is unique. We don't think that there's anything like this offered by any other college in the United States. It's completely solar powered, and we use water filtration for all our wastewater. Everything goes back into the ground clean. We also recycle all our products. So the only thing that we actually use is a tank of propane. Otherwise, we're completely off the grid. Millsaps is a small liberal arts college located here in Jackson, Mississippi, and we're approximately 1,000 to 1,100 students at the college. We have one graduate program in business, otherwise it's all focused on the undergraduates. And within that 1,000 students, we bring down anywhere between 50 and 60 students a year to Yucatan to do everything from archaeology through language programs, art programs, literature programs, biological programs. We created an international nonprofit called Kiuic, which is run by the college, and that nonprofit was used to purchase the land. And so Millsaps manages the reserve through its own international nonprofit organization.
Entonces hay que cuidar lo que pasa en torno.
Within the biological reserve is the Maya city of Kiuic. I tell people it's not like New York, okay? This isn't one of the biggest archaeological sites in the ancient world or the Maya world, but it's more like Detroit or Memphis. It's a second or third level kind of city, but it's perfect for us. You know, it's not so overwhelming. We can manage it great. So the students come down every year and are in charge of excavation and mapping of this archaeological city, this ancient Maya city. Okay, they're coming down just above the floor, so we're starting to pick up the materials from that we've been associating with the abandonment of the structures. So, for example, right by his hand is a very nice mono or grinding stone intact inside the house.
The first archaeological dig I've ever done was last year, actually here. And I had no field experience or anything. So everything I've learned right here, very hands-on manner. I was never interested in archaeology before I came to college, and I just happened to take a class about archaeology and fell in love with it. Two different walls here. You had an exterior wall, which you can see right here, like this is a stone from that, and then you would have an interior wall that would run here. A lot of people might feel disconnected from what they study in school. They might feel like, well, I'm just memorizing something out of a book. What does this ever matter? But whenever you can get in the field or somehow become very connected to what you're studying, it becomes so much more important. It stimulates your interest, and I think it's absolutely essential.
So in my crew, it's 8 Mayan men, and then me and another student. The 8 Mayan men, you know, they call us, you know, Jefa or Patrona, boss lady, you know, but I'm like calling him boss man, you know, because we can't really work without one another. It's impossible. And they barely speak Spanish. We barely speak Spanish, you know, so we're having to use all this alternate lingo to communicate with them.
Wait, is there more near that one?
So it's a really like collaborative team effort between the indigenous population and the archaeologists.
After working at Kiuic for 10 years, what I've discovered is how much more there is to learn about the ancient Maya. I think that the more, it's a cliche, but it's true, the more that we work there, the more complex the questions get and the more complex the kinds of answers we think are possible. People thought that Maya civilization in the Puc region where we work in the northern Yucatan really doesn't take off to around 700 AD. and our work shows that they begin around 900 BC. So we've pushed the dates back 1,500 years, which is amazing. Because of where the site is located, we've been very fortunate to find evidence of the abandonment of the city. So now we're thinking, we've got abandonment here. This is evidence that these people left, and they left lots of their things in the buildings when they left. We have a case of rapid abandonment by people who thought they were going to return, which is probably one of the reasons why they left so much stuff in their houses.
Supporting a lot of coming here to Yucatan, they say that this is kind of, I've heard it mentioned that this is kind of like the Mississippi of Mexico. Coming here, I hardly even want to go to another place in Mexico. So maybe it's the same way with Mississippi. You might show up, and I know of people who've shown up in Mississippi and never left because they fell in love with it just by gaining a new perspective by traveling there.